Hello, guys. Welcome
Huh?
to a very special episode of In the Spotlight, an Instagram live series where India's top athletes will motivate and inspire us. Today, we have the great leader who motivates all of us athletes and leads us in the international circuit. We have with us Honorable Minister of State for Youth Affairs and Sports with independent charge, Kiren Rijiju Sir. So, welcome.
Thank you very much. Udit, how are you?
I'm doing well, sir. Thank you so
Good.
much. It was a very pleasant surprise to get a very quick response actually when I just messaged you on Instagram DM. Thank you so much, sir, for joining the live.
No, it's always my pleasure to join, and especially with the athletes. It's interesting to get into this kind of conversation. I'm
Right.
really looking forward to it.
Thank you, sir. So your fitness videos in the lockdown have been an inspiration for all of us. What is your fitness mantra?
Well, my daily routine is very simple. I always remain active, mentally active, physically active. So when I'm always
Right.
on the mood of doing something, I never lie low. I'm never in a situation when I'm not doing anything. I'm doing something in any given point of time. So stay active, do some physical activities, if possible, exercise, yoga, play some sport. Life should be active all the time. That is my
Right.
simple way of life.
Yes, sir. In fact, I think we're going through a very difficult time right now. What is the most difficult thing you had to do in this period?
See, my most challenging thing was how to make other people feel comfortable. Being in the government, I cannot remain silent. The country is facing a huge task. On the one hand, we have to maintain this lockdown, social distancing, all things have to be carefully crafted. And on the other side, we have to run the country. We cannot put the country into a standstill. As a minister, as a part of the government, I have to ensure that whatever my prime minister is, putting effort, I have to make it sure that it reaches out to the people, those needy people, those who are vulnerable, how to make sure that nobody is left untouched, reaching out to the common people like all those basic food items, basic needs for the needy
Right, sir.
people. So on the one hand, I am trying to ensure that the government's programs are being carried forward. On the other side, I have to run my own ministry also, the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, as well as I have another ministry, Minority Affairs. So I have to ensure that
Yes, sir.
my ministry runs properly. So my office was functioning as normal, excepting we are not able to meet physically, but over the technology, video conferencing, virtually we are running the office. So I was as busy as I used to be, except that
Right.
I'm not able to meet people frequently in persons. That's all.
Right, sir. Right, sir. So I think our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji has also stressed upon being Aatmanirbhar. How do we expect to be Aatmanirbhar, especially in terms of Indian coaches?
Yes, this is a very important point. Aatmanirbhar is self-reliant. You have to be empowered to take care of yourself. So on the one hand, the country has to be self-reliant. Whenever there is some challenges, some disaster or some catastrophe, we have to ensure that we emerge stronger. So this is a big challenge for the country, and we have to learn to emerge stronger. We have to defeat the challenge and emerge stronger. So that means build back better. We have to make ourselves much stronger. So country as a whole has to emerge. And on the other side, I have to ensure that our athletes, our coaches, our the sports stars, they become stronger after the lockdown, after this challenge. So I was thinking that what could be done to ensure that all our sports stars, people from the sports world, are engaged constantly and come out of this very fluid situation much stronger. I think in last 3 months, we have handled quite well. And most of the athletes I have spoken to, most of the sports federations and people dealing with the sports, they are quite happy with the functioning of my ministry as well as all the sports federations. So we are working as a team. And most of the athletes are, I think during the lockdown also, they are able to do some activities, some regimes, which will be, keeping in line with their maintenance, as well as a sports star, they, motivate the people. They create awareness, they reach out to the people, because our athletes are stars, they, lots of people follow them. So in government's effort, our sports stars played a very critical role. Many of our athletes have contributed financially also, materially also, in terms of motivating also. They have been very useful. I'm proud of this sporting fraternity.
Yes, so for sure. In fact, I was just going to say that I think the SAI has started some really good online programs. And
Yes.
do you think that sort of training is here to stay?
Yes, because see, in any case, these online classes are very popular in the developed world. We in
Yes.
India could not pick up as fast as it should be. But during this lockdown, we have made full use of this opportunity. We have started online classes. All the grassroots athletes, these people from the, even from the rural areas also, are on board. So the online classes and classes for the physical education teachers, these have started, and it is going very well. On the one side, we are interacting closely with the high performance directors, the coaches, and our star athletes. On the other hand, we are also getting on board the young athletes, the budding players, the grassroots level players. So I think we have, in a way, enlarged our canvas. We have reached out to the larger group of the young players, those who have a dream to play for the country, to play for their society, to play for their colleges, schools. I think the ecosystem has been quite sound in this last 3 months' time. I'm very satisfied with the way in which we could bring everybody together. We are a
Right.
team. So I think when the lockdown is completely over, when we unlock completely the sporting events, everything, when it starts, we should be all ready for that.
For sure, for sure. So in fact, you launched the first ever Khelo India University Games. And
Yes.
how important do you think that is in creating champions?
See, when we talk about university games, we have to understand that worldwide, university games are very, very popular. Like we have military games, university games, school games, and Olympics and other games are already there. But besides that, we have these segments, different segments. So university games have been very popular worldwide. But unfortunately, when I took over as the Minister for the Youth Affairs and Sports, I found that the university games have not been given due attention. So I immediately took decision to revive it. And it was such a fantastic scene when we started the first university games that has been named as Khelo India University Games. It was such a huge success, and it was a live telecast in the Star Sports, in Doordarshan, and the total numbers of participations is a huge. It's in fact probably one of the biggest university games of the world, and the
Right.
standard, the manner in which the whole game was arranged professionally with a world-class arrangement, with the active support of the Odisha government. Of course, we had to spend some good amount to manage that kind of event. But at the end of the day, I was very successful that we have revived very important sporting culture. University Games is going to be one of the very important landmark, very important event of the
I think so. His connection is just a little off, but he's gonna be back any second now. I think. Don't worry, guys. Stay tuned for more. But we're just waiting for him to come back onto the live. Right, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. Now we can sort of move onto the rapid fire.
Yeah.
I'll just ask you a couple of quick questions and you can just respond. So what is your favorite meal at home?
See, with regards to meal, I have no particular choice. Whatever
Okay.
is available, I try to enjoy with that. Because I keep
Okay.
traveling, so I don't have a regular one kind of food item.
Okay, sir. Right. I know you're a big I know you're a big Muhammad Ali fan, but what is the one favorite movie that you like?
One favorite?
Movie.
Okay, movie. There are so many, so many. In fact, it's very difficult to choose.
Okay.
Um, but Muhammad Ali, na Ali film. Have you seen Ali?
Yes, very inspirational.
Very emotional, very sentimental, and very
Yeah.
motivating also. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, sir. As you mentioned, you like traveling. So what is your one favorite travel destination?
Oh, I have so many. I have traveled more than 155 countries. So whether it's a
Wow.
Saint Helena, I know 6 days by ship from Namibia,
Yes.
Windhoek, right in the middle of the Atlantic
Yes.
Ocean. I've
Yes.
traveled that much before I entered
Yeah.
politics. Or Queenstown in southern New Zealand, or in Central Asia, places in Japan, wonderful. In Africa, there are so many beautiful, unknown places in Africa, Machu Picchu in Peru. So there are many places I have
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed. So it's difficult to pick one favorite place, but uh, just for the sake of picking up as a choice, I would prefer to go to a place where it's a peaceful and where you have a very close proximity with the nature. Any
Right.
place where you feel close to the nature is the place you would like to be. So Himalayan, I love to
Right.
be. I am from Himalayan region.
Yes.
My as a Pahadi, so I prefer any place in Himalayas.
Right. Okay, so then, so you seem to be working really hard for all of us. And how do you unwind? How do you relax?
See, I have stated this in many occasions. In my dictionary, there is no word for relaxation. You know
Okay.
that आराम से हम लोग बोलते हैं ना आराम से आराम हराम
जी
होते हैं.
जी.
See, human mind and human body, it can work constantly. It doesn't mean that you keep running, not like that. You can keep working. In the time of sleep, you will sleep. And there are, time where you take rest. That's okay. But in my concept, people actually don't take break. I don't go for vacation. My
Right.
work is my vacation. Wherever I go, I do work. That is my vacation. So I
Right.
enjoy doing my work. I don't take break. I don't take rest. I keep doing something or other.
Yes, so that's very motivational. So, and so last one in the rapid fire segment. If you had to be a professional sportsman, which game do you think you would play? Which sport would you play?
See, football has been a favorite game for all time. But
Yeah.
uh, other than football, I have played many games in athletics. Since athletics is very individualistic, so people don't relate to athletic much. But I used to be very good in athletics, individual, that athletic items. I used to be heptathlonist, heptathlon,
Yes, sir.
heptathlon,
Yes, sir.
decathlon. So many items you can do, like 5 events, 7 events, or 10 events is called decathlon.
Yes, sir.
So athletics is one, and table tennis. I love table tennis. Table
Yes, sir.
tennis is one game where you can keep playing till a
Yes,
very
sir.
old age and anywhere. You just need a
Right,
big
sir.
dining hall type, a big hall.
Yes.
So you buy a table, then get the racket, and then you can really play table tennis at any point of time. So besides that, I have many favorite games. Even I like badminton. I like many sports, but table tennis is one of my favorites.
I'm really glad to hear that, sir. Thank you for helping all of us table tennis players as well as sportsmen in this country. So now sort of back to the regular questions. So yesterday itself you announced that sports will be integrated in the school curriculum. What is your grand vision behind this?
See, we are coming out with an education policy. So the Ministry of Human Resource Development is preparing the new education policy. When government comes out with a policy, it has to be integrated. So all the stakeholders are a part of it. So I, being the Minister for Youth Affairs and Sports, I was part of the deliberation when the meeting took place with all the education ministers of India. So I was part of that meeting, and I had given certain concrete suggestions how sports has to be part of the education. So officially the education policy has not been pronounced yet, but we have already given our suggestions. So I'm very sure in the new education policy, sports will become a very important part of the education. And earlier time, sports used to be treated as extra activities. You study, when you don't do anything, then only you play, like that. It is treated as extracurricular activities. So my point is, sports is not extracurricular activities. In fact, sports is a main way of life. Sports has to be part of the education. It has to be integral part of the education itself. It cannot be extra. So that is how we are looking forward to it. Officially, it will be announced, but we have given our suggestions how sports has to be part of the new education policy.
I think that's a great suggestion, sir. And in my school days, it's as well. My school helped me a lot. But if
on top of that, Mudit, I want to inform also that we have this National Sports Education Board.
Yes.
So this National Sports Education Board is a bold initiative taken by the Prime Minister. It was announced in the last budget. So I have already formed a very high-level committee to give a final touch and shape to the new National Sports Education Board. And that will also have a new direction, way forward for how we take the sports as a part of our education, as a part of life.
For sure, sir. So also, I think India is very well known now as the country of leagues. In various leagues across all sports, I think we're getting a lot of recognition and we're getting a lot of viewership. So how do you think that is helping Indian sport?
It's very good. See, first of all, sports as a way of life, it's very important, but it is not enough. Sports has to be a career also. My point is, sports has to give you respect, position, earning, comfort, recognition, everything. So for that, once you have this league system in the country, whether at the national level or state level or regional level, it has to be successful. So to make a league successful, it has to be commercially viable and successful too. So that is why I'm encouraging lots of leagues like our ISL, our IPL, even UTT is coming up very well. I have a very great prospect I see in the UTT in the future, and we have now boxing league coming up. We have wrestling league. So see, India is a large country, and as a country of India's size, we can afford to have multiple, countless numbers of leagues at different level, at different region. And people must identify themselves with the game, as well as identify with the team, the city which the team represents, or the region, or a particular club. So we can have different kind of formats for that, but league has to be, domestic league has to be successful to catapult our standard of sports to a new level.
For sure, sir. For sure, sir. I think India is also very rich in its textile industry. So do you think in the future maybe we will have some Aatmanirbharta in that segment of maybe playing in
Oh,
something
obviously,
made in India?
India's, the fabrics, the varieties, the depth, the color of the textile in India is amazing. It has to have, its imprint around the globe. We
Yes,
need
sir.
to ensure that the potential which we have in India must have its influence and its reach out to the other parts of the world. We have contributed many things to the world, and we need to contribute more. And I'm sure this Aatmanirbhar concept, which the Prime Minister has launched, it has various segments. So our small, medium industries, they are doing good job. And in the times to come, as I could see the sector growing very fast, we will definitely become Aatmanirbhar. Not only Aatmanirbhar for ourselves, but we will become a source for other nations also.
Yes, sir, for sure. And what is your grand vision on unlocking India's potential in the Olympic Games?
Oh, Olympic has been a big dream for me since childhood. I have learned about the Olympic history, and I understand the spirit of Olympics. See, Olympism and Olympic education has not taken deep rooted in India yet. Let us be very frank. Uh,
Indeed, sir.
although we have achieved some success in hockey and few individual sports, but we have not been able to make any uh, something worth telling a successful impact in the Olympic history.
Yes,
So
sir.
on the one hand, I'm talking about creating a sports culture in India. On the one side, we have to understand the spirit of Olympism and Olympic education. So we have to understand the Olympic movement has to be there in the mind of the people, because in the Olympics it is not the individual players who play, it's the country. You represent the
Yes,
country, you
yes,
you
sir.
represent your people. So when the Olympic movement started, India was not an independent country, but slowly when we got independent, we also started having very good representation from India's side in the Olympics. In the days to come, I want to ensure that not only our participation, but our success rate also must be very high. India,
Indeed, sir.
India needs to succeed in Olympics. That is why we have created this sporting culture in India by creating Khelo India, Fit India movement, a different kind of support system, grassroots level motivation, so that India's position in the Olympic has to be there, worth mentioning. So the target is to make India as one of the top 10 nations in the world by 2028. So this is a target I have set, and with the Indian Olympic Association and all the sports federation, we have worked out certain plans and strategies, and we have started implementation also. So I have no
Yes, sir.
doubt in my mind that by 2028 we will be one of the top 10 nations in Olympic, and by 24 we will do better, but top 10 is something we have to achieve by 2028 Olympics.
Yes, I think under your able guidance, so I have no doubt that we would be able to do this. Now, just as a last question, just talking about the sports culture in the country, what advice would you give young kids who are taking up sports and how they can make it a career in the future?
See, when we talk about sports culture, we have to understand the mindset. India has had the tradition of sports. See, India has a great tradition of sports, but that tradition could not be translated into culture. We don't have a
Yes, sir.
sporting culture in India. People think that those who play for games and sports, they are into games and sport. They are nothing to do with studies and all. So that is why most of the parents think that no, बच्चों को पढ़ने देना चाहिए. So
Ji.
पढ़ना लिखना, that was something like a priority, and खेलना कूदना is a least priority. So this needs to be changed. So now we have started, inculcating this, that पढ़ने लिखने तो अच्छा है, करना ही चाहिए, लेकिन खेलना कूदना बहुत जरूरी है. और you create stars from sports, so it gives a status. So for that we have started many things, better facilities, and one of the priority is to create a better career prospects for the sports persons. And for that, from the grassroots, from the state government to central government, we have to ensure that a policy should be favorable to the sports people. So
Yes, sir.
this Khelo India is actually targeting the grassroots level. We are giving lots of support to the state government. Through Khelo India, we are picking up the young talents, identifying them. Talent scouting is very important. So
Yes, sir.
by doing that, we are paying their stipends, we are taking care of their expenses. Even in this lockdown period also, I have ensured that all our junior athletes are given their dues. Their monies are being deposited in their accounts. So that way, we don't want to make the parents feel that the children are suffering. Why? Because they are playing. It should not happen. I want to make sure that those who are playing are given full support by the government. So along with the government, I want to urge all the private sectors to give priority to the sports sector. So unless sports becomes a career, younger generation will not be attracted towards sports. Only few, those who excel in sports, will be there. The pyramid will not be big based. We have to have a
Yes, sir.
big based sports the talents in India as a large country. So sporting culture has to come with the prospects of better future and respect and dignity, recognition.
Yes,
Sports persons must be well respected. That is why right now I am also creating some kind of system where sports persons, even if they have not played for India, still we could come out and help them in the time of their need. Whenever any sports person fall into some trouble, financial distress, we could at least help them for the basic needs. So there are certain things which I'm doing. I'm sure all these big steps, small steps, bigger policy, small actions, all will culminate into creating a better sporting culture in the country.
For sure, sir. I completely agree with you, sir. And I think there's no one better than yourself to sort of be there, lead all of us, get all of us athletes together. We have been feeling a great sense of togetherness in the last year or so, and we've also been extremely inspired by your actions as well, the way you keep yourself fit. So thank you, sir, for everything you do for all of us, and also thank you, sir, for joining this live and for your time, sir.
No, it's absolutely pleasure, and I always like to have a very frank discussion. I don't talk about those high fundas, high wording sounded policies and all. I love to speak out in a very plain and simple language and simple way. That is how I approach in my life also. I don't want to be complicated. Think straight, do straight, and in a simple possible way.
Thank you so much, sir. And for all the viewers, thank you for joining in. And as sir said, think straight, do straight, be simple, and you guys will exceed in life. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you everyone.
Wonderful. All the best, Mudit, and my best wishes to you, your team, and for your future and for your game.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for all your support, sir.